Hi, and welcome to 3 Things in 3 Minutes. I'm Nersi. Today we are going to be talking about Council of 4, and in particular we're going to be looking at the Cool Mini or Not reprint of this game. Plays 2 to 4 players, and it takes about 40 to 70 minutes to play the game. And the core concept of this game is everyone plays a merchant, and you're trying to connect a series of little merchants you have working for you on a map in an effort to chain together various cities. And as you chain them together, you get great bonuses like money and points throughout the game. And in order to actually put a merchant on a city, you either need to get a business permit or essentially pay off the queen. And both of those you do the same way. Each area of the board or the queen has a council of 4 members, 4 colored minis, and you have these cards you can play out of your hand, and the more of them match the colors of the councilor members, the cheaper it is to pay it off. And the game also does allow you to put minis on there to bump the last one off so that you can manipulate each area's council to make it more advantageous for you. Things I like about this game: it is a straightforward game. The actions are pretty clear, they're well explained, and they're very straightforward, so the game moves pretty quickly. There's not a lot of downtime between turns. The idea of chaining together your cities is pretty interesting. If you end up putting a merchant on a city and it's connected to other cities of yours, you actually gain the bonuses of all of them, not just the one that you've put on. So towards the later portions of the game, you get some really interesting and powerful combinations. And this is in some ways similar to the Voyages of Marco Polo, which the designers also did. Obviously a much simpler, reduced version of that, but if you like that routing mechanic, there's some elements that are similar here. And also, if you like variability in your setup, there are 2 sides to the map, and there are the bonuses on each city get put out randomly throughout the game, so it does change the setup from game to game. A few things to note about this: this is a Cool Mini or Not reprint, which means that they really redid the art. It's much more elaborate. There are lots of minis in the game. In fact, there's a mini whose only function is to tell everybody else what color you are, which is great, but not necessarily necessary. And some of the art on the cards can be pretty elaborate, so especially if you or other people have trouble seeing colors, it might be hard to figure out which one matches with which color. Also, this game requires a fair amount of advanced planning. You don't have a lot of merchants, and so you have to really think ahead about what you're doing for the game. That's not in and of itself a problem, but given that the game otherwise feels sort of on the lighter side, it might actually frustrate some pretty new players. And also, the game has a random setup, which is great, but it does make the map somewhat uneven at times. Some parts may be better than others. So, straightforward game with variable setup. The engine ramps up really nicely in an interesting way, and it does require some advanced planning. So, thanks for watching. Please leave comments and subscribe.